Hey, Leigh, I'm a buyer's agent in a multiple offer situation. I don't want to violate fair housing, so what are great questions I can ask of a listing agent to help my clients win this property? Now, if you want to know the backstory on where that question came from, there's a lot of conversation about these buyer love letters in the business, and you may have seen my video, which we'll link here, about how many of them are a straight up violation of fair housing. Well, this realtor is not cool with violating fair housing, and many of the professionals that I know in the business are fully dedicated to being the best advocate ever for every neighbor in their communities. So what do? We help each other get better and get stronger. And by the way, if you're a buyer or seller watching this, it's always a good idea to ask your realtor of choice how committed they are to protecting fair housing and to being the most ethical and competent realtor possible. So in the market currently, we are seeing multiple offers, and this is regardless of which zip code you're in. They're all over the place. It's been happening for several months and has a lot to do with our level of supply that's just not moving and demand that keeps increasing as the millennials finally buy their first houses and baby boomers downsize. So many reasons for the demand. We're grateful in real estate, but it also means we have to be on our toes. So here are the questions, my buyer agent friend, you could ask of a listing agent. Number one, call the listing agent on the phone, look at the real phone call, and say, what matters to your seller? There are different priorities for different people. Not every seller is totally focused on the tippy top best dollar. Many are, but for some home sellers, the time frame matters more. As in, how quickly can this house go away? Because perhaps they're relocating, or somebody has passed away and the estate is closing, or maybe they're just tired of keeping the house clean and don't want to fool with any more showings. If I, the listing agent, could answer that for you, it will help the buyer agent craft a stronger offer, because offers don't have to include fair housing violations when they are built on great terms and conditions. The second question to ask me, the listing agent, what does your seller expect in the way of deposits? Now, this can be a huge game changer, friends. In North Carolina, we have two deposits. There's the due diligence deposit, which is non-refundable to the buyer, and the earnest money deposit, which sits in a trust account and holds the buyer's good faith money towards closing. A home seller would be very interested in knowing how serious the buyer is when they're looking at a collection of offers. And frankly, the deposit money is going to tell that story. Now, here's the asterisk for you. If you're the buyer agent and you're representing a veteran or a first-time buyer, perhaps using FHA financing or some down payment assistance program, to that buyer, $1,000 might be everything they have in the world, which could be a story I could tell to my seller, as opposed to the buyer who's got $25,000 and would walk away from it. It's not always the absolute dollar, it's what it means to your buyer, which is something my seller should consider. The third thing I would like to hear from you as a buyer agent. You buyer agents, ask your listing agents, do you need any help from me in this process? Oh, what an interesting question to ask. Many agents are burned out right now and exhausted because the markets have been so busy. Not every agent has a team or an assistant or a broker who's able to pitch in and help with detail work. If I, the listing agent, know that you, the buyer agent, are organized and systematic and that you're committed to responding to emails, texts, and phone calls so that we can button down details and help our buyers and sellers move forward, that's going to give me an immense amount of peace, knowing that I'm dealing with a professional on the other side who understands the demands of full-time real estate. That's just 3 of the questions. There's so much more you can ask if you get into the space of being into curiosity and out of judgment. And when we as realtors know how to communicate the best needs of our clients without violating fair housing, we have an opportunity to help build generational wealth for our clients, build financial stability, and protect and preserve property rights the whole way through the process. If this helped you, leave me a thumbs up and a nice comment. If you have other suggestions and techniques, leave those in the comments as well. Subscribe for more. And make sure that you tune in, because I'll do everything I can to help you make real estate better. I'll see you next time.